Hello everyone, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. I have an outstanding performance here to critique. This is something that this team and I, and actually Matt Peru, you can see Matt, he has his back to the camera here. He's right in front of the team. We've been involved with the team now for a time, and I'm very excited to see that this final performance for armed regulation drill. The progress that's been made by the team is just outstanding, absolutely outstanding. I just loved seeing the cadets again, loved seeing the instructors, and then meeting a couple of the parents as well was also very special. I always appreciate that. All right, so let's get on with it. Great job. Great job. Nice timing. And the execution on the lift and place of the rifle, very nice. What's interesting about the entrance is you can do anything, really, in the entrance. So you notice that they march in a lot longer than most teams. Come over to the center. And notice how the team is now centering. Perfect job. That is absolutely outstanding. That's great. Now, Commander, you got a little bit too far ahead. So probably one of the criticisms that anybody who understands Marine Corps drill, the criticism is going to be, well, the commander is not centered on the third, supposed to be the left of center. I'm pretty sure it's left of center. Anyway, I have a YouTube video that explains that is wrong thinking. I'll explain the rest of this, but there's an alignment technique used only by the Marine Corps, Navy, Coast Guard. It's only in the Marine Corps order. It's only for when marching in this direction, which is really strange. Anyway, and it was only created just a few years ago. It never existed before, and then, I can't, early 2000s, I think it was. But it never existed before, and all of a sudden it appears out of nowhere. Very strange technique, but it only seems to apply when the formation is marching in line formation with the commander in front, so that the commander now needs to be left of center, centered on the third rank here. So many Marine Corps judges, this judge most likely had that come up. It's quite possible, but that's not the case. Army and Air Force, totally different. We center and then we stay centered, and the team nailed it. That's good. That really is. Absolutely love that. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Fantastic job. So, Commander, you've got a little bit of an arm swing coming over in front of your body. But see how this team is centered? Now, the commander was able to halt 3 steps away. Slight phasing on the heads. Slight. Nice job, Commander. Good. Now, if you heard the report in, drilling in accordance with the Air Force pamphlet and the training circular. Air Force pamphlet is marching. Training circular is where the rifle movements come from. Air Force defaults to the most senior service for rifle movements. For an armed flight or an armed element, we go with the training circular. For color guard, we're going to go with the Marine Corps order because the guards are at the outside shoulder, or should be at the outside shoulder. Nice job. Nice job. All right, so foot spacing there really was pretty inconsistent. Oh, so 15 count. Let me go back here. There. Hold on. Got a little bit of a lag problem here. All right, so anyway, look at the feet. So a little bit of an issue there with, that's definitely not 12 inches. Got some nice 12 inches here. Second element leader, not 12. Third, looks like you're 12. That's good. But then also window. Third element leader, we've got a window there. Remember, Air Force doesn't have that window. Air Force has that arm straight down and then angled over, hand flat up against the your backside, and you don't tuck your hand under. You just have that angled over, just like this, nice and flat. Wow. That was great timing.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was, Doctor. Oh, so you chose to do that. Okay. All right, so whoever said flight fall in, it's not flight fall in, it's just fall in for whoever did that. So the commander, it's up to the interpretation, unless the sequence actually says alignment will be checked. That doesn't necessarily mean that the commander is going to go through and make the alignment adjustments. It's just that many sequences, and I really think everybody should do this, many sequences require the commander to step off and then check the alignment, go through the procedure of checking the alignment for each of the elements or squads, as the case may be, and then come back up and get centered again. I really think that is a really good addition to regulation drill sequences. However, not every sequence says, it's usually in parentheses, alignment will be checked. So if it doesn't say that, you can check alignment, or you can do either about face, a couple of steps back, or just take some backward steps, like I've seen it several times. Either way, either about face and a couple steps, or just steps backwards. So totally the commander's choice. And the safer, okay, so arms, a little bit of a phasing issue there, and a slight alignment issue, it looks like. Yeah, so you can see it's very subtle here. So look at our female cadet right here in third rank, and then look where his nose is. Well, actually, look at the shoulders. The right shoulders are pretty much aligned, but the left aren't. So it's interesting that where you think you might be aligned, and then element leaders, you're practically not aligned at all. Second rank, really good. Third rank, almost. Third element, you should be a little bit over to your left, but where you think you might be in alignment, Sometimes it's not the case. So, so backward steps are a little awkward for some, and you don't want to lock your knees. You actually want to lift the foot, push the foot backwards, toe strike, and then come roll back onto the heel, and then bend the knees as you do that. So um, the the stilted steps, not necessarily the best technique. Good job. So angles here, a couple of angles are off. Some pretty good arm swing. Slight timing issue with with a couple of the arms. Feet look great. Commander, you've got that good spacing. And what's interesting here also is the commander's option, it seems to be whether to switch sides or not. So I wrote an article a few years ago called Span of Control. Nice job. But look at your... Oh, end steps there were all... Wow. Almost just spot on. But I'll show you here in just a moment. Good. Now, look at, do you see how the first element, remember Commander switch sides here, so you see how first element was wide and now is coming in a little bit, but second element is wide from third and keeping that, maintaining that distance. So there's a column movement issue in there as far as the pivots are concerned for spacing, the ultimate spacing after it's finished. Now watch the. Now I so stopped at a moment in time. It shows a little bit of phasing here, but look how we have second element almost, well, it looks like perfectly aligned. Third is almost perfectly aligned, even though we have phasing in the feet here. And then first element almost perfectly aligned. But watch this. Now I'll just rewind this just a little bit. What I want you to do is watch the cadet who's in the third rank of the first element. Watch how she moves into position there. Right after that right flank. But see, you can see the wide and then moving over just a bit there. Now watch her. See how she moves over and gets adjusted? So most everyone had that end step right on. There were a couple of individuals here in the formation who didn't get that end step to be the same, either length or placement. So remember, end step is the last step you're taking, my term, for the last step you're taking in a direction. So the end step should be, in this case, 24 inches measured heel to heel, 24 inches in front, and then you pivot. You have your walking base, you pivot, you recreate your walking base again, and then you can either have a shorter end step, a longer end step, or you can step into the flank or away from the flank. So either one of the shorter, longer, inside, outside, whichever you're stepping, then you throw your alignment off one direction or more, and then you have to adjust afterwards. When everybody gets their end step perfectly placed, then nobody has to adjust after the flank, and it's a thing of beauty. So this is very close. Good job, Commander. Good. Heel strikes throughout. Nice job. Now, there used to be two counter columns here, and that left. I'm
You
gonna.
go, Woodrow. Good hand steps.
Nice job. What I wanted to say is, it used to be two counter columns here, and the counter columns were switched to rear marches. And now, why on earth? It's the same thing, isn't it? No, actually, it's not. Yeah, sure, we're moving from point A to point B, back and forth. I get that, and we can see that. However, we need to change the responsibilities. And so the responsibilities are always with the element leaders, in this case leading. And element leaders, you look a little too close here. So you're squeezing in. So it's that lateral distance that the flight needs to work on. But we change the responsibilities by executing a rear march and having the last rank now lead. And you can always tell if everybody is evenly trained when another whether it's first element marching to the marching at in line formation, or the last element marching in inverted line, or now marching in inverted column, where it's the last rank that's leading. You can always tell, because eventually you want strong marchers, you want strong leaders as your element or squad leaders, but as soon as you turn around, if you don't have a strong presence throughout your formation, then it starts to fall apart in either alignment or almost always timing. Feet start to go awry, and you can see that constantly. So that's why there's two rear marches here. So not exactly what we wanted there for close. That was good. That was really good. So yeah, you're just
You go, Woodrow. Good hand steps.
you are too close. So you're setting yourself up for failure for the close and extend by being too close. You have to maintain your dress cover interval distance throughout the entire performance at all times. All right, so first element leader, your pivot there was practically a flank instead of a half. So again, you want to have that 45-degree angle, march over at a 45-degree angle. You took it much too deep and then came behind and had to catch up. So all right, things happen. But without that normal spacing that you'd usually have, you're really scrunched up when you're supposed to close into close interval and then extend into normal interval. So that's the whole purpose behind that. And actually, the Army calls this close interval march and normal interval march. We call it close and extend after the Marine Corps. When the Air Force was created, the first drill and ceremonies manuals, and yeah, that's just. So I'm wondering, is there a Is it your flank? Is it your pivot? All right, so third element leader, I would. We're about the same height. I'm guessing your shoes might be around, measuring from heel to toe, they might be around 12 inches or so. And yet, when you take your half steps, I'm just I'm trying to figure it out here. When you take your half steps, though, I can see a gap in between heel and toe there of about from this distance anyway, maybe 2-3 inches. So you're taking a 15-inch half step when you should be taking a 12-inch. That's going to impact the rest of the flight and the ability of first element to catch up. Good job. That really works well. Consistent mark time throughout the team. Nice job. Back a little farther. There we go. Yeah, it's well done. Now that's a half step. So third element leader, obviously we're not same height. Or first element leader, and much smaller feet, but applying that really good half step technique there. Good command voice, Commander. You're doing well here. And doing well with the process as well for the columns and even the half columns. So, but still closing up. First and second, you're closing up a bit here. And then now you're practically at, and you know the camera really doesn't pick up everything three-dimensionally. So when you're marching like this, it really looks like you're close together. I mean, you could be a little bit of a foot discrepancy there. Yeah. Second element leader looked like it looked like your head wasn't in the game there. Good job. Nice swing there, keeping the blade level, as far as I could tell, really. Great job. So it could be just a now I saw just a slight downward angled forearm there. Third element leader looks like you're slightly angled downward. Yeah. Coming back, centering the using that triangle. Nice command. I want a copy of that picture. That probably was really an awesome shot, having Master Guns there in front of the commander. Thanks, Master Guns. So, team, So how long have we been working together? And look at the improvement. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Very impressed. Now, was that perfect? No, no, it wasn't. Uh, was there a level of excellence in there? Absolutely. Absolutely. The level of excellence has increased exponentially from when we first started to work together. And I'm just so pleased. I really am pleased. Just awesome. All right, so, um, hey, and it's only 25 minutes instead of me stopping and talking for an hour. All right. Thank you so much. It was such a joy to see everybody again, and I can't wait to keep working. It'll be awesome. Enjoy the weekend, everybody.